So you have a website, you've got your social media running, you're spending time making posts, making sure that people can find out about you, but you're just not quite seeing the traction that you want to see. Frustrating, my friends. What are you missing? I mean, you've got all the things that you think that you should have. You've got all the social media posts, you've got the website up, you've got online directory listings, but the people just aren't coming in. The clients are not finding you. So, what I'm here to tell you today is that it's all about the words. It's all about the language that you choose. So, today we're going to examine having clear marketing language so that you can have website copy that speaks to people and that you can have systems in place so that they know what to do when they land on that website. Because having all these things it's absolutely paramount to having a successful marketing plan for your studio. So we're going to be examining the language that we use in marketing and considering 4 different things that will help us make little tiny shifts, little tiny tweaks that you can flex your marketing muscles so that those prospective clients can actually find you and book with you. Good morning, everyone. Hey there, Craig. Nice to see you. Hey there, Elizabeth. Greetings from Central New York. If you are tuning in with me today, please be sure to say hello. Let me know where you're coming from, and let me know what area of marketing would you like to hone in on. Do you need to think about email marketing? Do you need to think about your website? Do you need to think about the copy that goes in your social posts or getting yourself out there in more online directories? We're going to be talking about all of those today. So, welcome to the broadcast, everyone. If you are new here, I just want to say thanks for tuning in. And please let me know. If you are new, give me a hashtag new so that I can greet you personally. If you don't know who I am, my name is Sara Campbell. I am a business strategist, marketing, and social media coach for music studio owners just like you and online education experts just like you. And every Wednesday, I go live here on the Facebook page where we talk about those topics, where we talk about the business strategies that we need to have in place, where we talk about the marketing and how we can market without feeling salesy and weird, and how we can best use social media in a healthy way so that we're not wasting tons of times on platform and we're actually being able to speak directly to those ideal clients that you want to bring into your studio. So welcome to the broadcast here this morning. It's so glad to see you. The topic of the day is how to communicate your offers with clear marketing. And when I say the word offers, I'm talking about whatever you are offering in your studio, whether it's one-on-one lessons, group lessons, or if you have online courses. So how to communicate those offers with clear marketing that speaks to your ideal clients. Hey there, Amy. Thank you. Trying something a little bit new because it's getting a little bit long. So good morning, Patricia and Tanya and Sally. Nice to see you as well. If you have a teacher friend who could benefit from being a part of this conversation, I invite you to let them know about this now because we know we learn better together. And I am a firm believer in the fact that the world has enough music students to fill every single music studio and then some. And so remember, this is not about competition. We rise by lifting others. So if you have teacher friends who could benefit from this conversation, please do let them know about it. If you see something today or hear something today in the broadcast that you go, that is something that I need to do, or that is something that I have never heard of before, give us a hashtag takeaway and let us know what your aha moment was so that we can learn out loud together. And as always, I do have the Savvy Sara bot set up with the show notes from today. So if you'd like to get those delivered to you here in Facebook Messenger, then you're going to drop an offers below. And she's going to give you 2 things. She's going to give you the show notes from today's broadcast, and she's also going to be telling you about what is happening next week, which is really exciting. And I'll get to that at the end of the show to tell you about what's happening. All right, so let's do this, shall we? All right, here's the issue that I see. I see teachers who are spending a lot of time and energy putting together social media posts, putting together their websites, and getting this stuff out. However, they're not seeing the traction that they need to see. So people are not engaging with their stuff, or when they're going over to their website, there's no conversion, like they're not clicking on the buttons to, book an initial fit lesson, to maybe get onto a discovery call with you, or even just to fill out a contact form. So we're going to be examining how we can clarify our marketing in different areas by looking at 4 specific points. All right. No, Susan, if you would like the notes, if you put the word offers below, you will be able to get a hold of that. And I'll make sure that that is working correctly. I double check right here. Yes, we're going to update that real quick because I think that I have. All right. Save. All right. Good. So that should work for you. If you've already put the word down below and it didn't deliver, go ahead and try it again, and that should work just fine for you. All right. Let's get to the 4 points of today. So, item number 1. Item number 1, how to communicate your offers with clear marketing. First, we must understand the full value of your offers. Now, I'm not talking about monetary value, although this will tie in with that. What I am talking about are the transformations that you provide as a music teacher. So we are thinking bigger than just I teach piano lessons, I teach voice lessons, I teach ukulele lessons. We are thinking about what is it that happens after somebody has been with you for a month, after 3 months, after a year. What are the transformations that they are going to experience? In other words, how will working with you make their life better or easier? So that's the big question that you have to ask yourself. That is how we are going to really tap into the full value of your offers. And oftentimes when we're thinking about the value of our offers, we look at like tangible things that we can deliver. Or we look at like the features that we might have, like, okay, we have these types of instruments in our studio, or I offer Zoom lessons, or I offer group lessons, and we think about the actual product or service itself. But what we need to do, and this is where people get stuck on their marketing, is that we need to understand the full value and the transformation that you are providing. So if you have not done that deep work in understanding what is the full value that I offer as a music professional, it's time to sit down and answer those questions. What transformation does somebody experience? How does my service or how does my product make their life better or easier? And really getting clear on that. I see so many offers jumping into the chat there. Hey, everybody, Pam, Angela, Jen, Leisha, nice to see you all. Jennifer, good to see you all today. All right, so that is item number 1. And this is where I see so many websites and sometimes social posts, but mostly on like website copy, that it really doesn't tell me what is it that you do? What is the magic you provide? So when we're writing copy for ourselves, we really need to get clear on the transformation, the full value of the offers. And yes, I said that this wasn't about money, but indeed, this ties into how much you charge for your service or product. And sometimes you will discover, after doing the deep work of figuring out the full value and the benefits of what you provide, that you are not charging enough, my friends. You're not charging enough. So that's another conversation for another day. But I'm just going to put that in there. All right. Number 2, we need to speak to our client needs and desires. So that might seem easy, but in fact, there's a little deep work that we've got to do there as well. So we think about, okay, well, what do they want? Why would they approach me? Right? And actually, I want you to answer that question. Why would somebody seek you out as a music teacher? You specifically, not just looking for somebody who teaches piano lessons. Why would they specifically seek out you? And if you don't know the answer to that question, it's something that's important to consider. So when we're speaking to needs and desires, we're not just telling people about, this is what we, here are how the group lessons work. Here are how, my glasses feel really crooked today. Here are how, here's what we do in voice lessons. What we are doing is tapping into why they want to take them. And the whys might be a little bit different from client to client, but if you do the deep work of understanding who your client is, you will eventually find through lines. This is something we talk a lot about in Branding Bootcamp. It's something that we're talking about in the How to Run Accelerator program inside of the Speakeasy Cooperative as well right now. But understanding their needs and desires is paramount, because if we don't understand their needs and desires, then we don't have the ability to create copy and marketing that really hooks them in and really tells them, yes, I can help you specifically. I can help you solve this problem. I can help you fill this need. Because people are not just coming to you because they want to learn how to sing or they want to learn how to play. They're coming from a deeper desire and need than that. So I want you to think for a second. I'm going to take you back, and we're going to take a little time trip here. I want you to think about why you signed up for music lessons when you were a kid, or why you sought out a teacher as an adult. What specifically were you looking for? What need did you want to fill? What desire did you have in reaching out to that person? I bet it wasn't just because they were a voice teacher or a piano teacher. It was specific. It was so specific. So I'll provide an example. So I am working with a voice teacher right now. Her name is Meredith Colby, and she's amazing. And the reason that I sought her out is because I really, really, really wanted to be able to sing in popular styles. And I felt like I kind of understood how to do it, but as I would try to sing certain things, I had a really hard time navigating through the lower break, the passaggio, if you will. And so I knew that Meredith had the skills to help me navigate this. And so that is why I sought her out, not because I wanted voice lessons, but because I had a specific need and desire. Oh, this is a great one. Oh, thank you, Michelle. I'm bringing back the little swoopy hair thing now that it's a little longer. So, Michelle says she was terrified of effing up a role that she was cast in because everyone was already in voice lessons and already had natural talent. Michelle, that's why I reached out to you when I was in Brigadoon, and I was like, I am terrified of cracking on that note when I get to the end of Real Love of My Life, right? Because I knew that you had the skills to help me fix that very specific problem. So when we know how to speak to the client needs and desires, we are taking our marketing to a next level. Because you are not just a piano teacher or a voice teacher, you are a problem solver. Let me give one more example of this. So my dad's taking piano lessons. He retired in November of this past year, and he wanted to take piano lessons. And there were two very specific reasons why. One, all of his daughters knew how to play piano. He has 4 daughters, and all of us know how to play the piano. And even his wife, my mom, knows how to play the piano. Everybody else in the family knew how to play the piano except for him. So his desire was that he was kind of feeling left out, right? And that he grew up in a musical family and he didn't have these musical skills, and he felt, he's actually a really good singer, just saying. He felt left out. So that desire was there. And the other desire was that, hey, he was retired and he wanted to like sharpen his axe and like have this new skill and be constantly learning. So when you can speak to those desires, let's put that into like a marketing context, right? So if you specialize in working with retired adults teaching piano, then you need to be able to speak to those things to say something like, hey, have a whole lot of time on your hands now that you're not going to work every day? Feeling like you want to sharpen that axe a little bit and find some new skills? Learning to play the piano, or to say like, it's not too late to learn to play the piano. So things like that, just like little tiny things that we can tap into their needs and desires inside of our copy. When I say copy, I'm talking about the words, the verbiage, right? That's in our social media posts, the verbiage that's on your website. It's just a fancy word for words. Thank you. I hit that note and I felt really good about it. Yes. Oh, we have our first takeaway. If you guys are having takeaways, this is a good one. Craig, you're a problem solver. I love it. Yes, that's what we are. We are problem solvers, right? Okay, so we've gone to the first two. Let's move on to number 3. Have a clear call to action. Sometimes, like in the industry, we call this CTA. Your marketing needs a clear call to action. You need to outline the path that people are going to take to work with you. So if they come to your website and they see some good copy, but when they're scrolling down the page, they have no idea how to book with you, that person's going to bounce, right? We think about uh, websites sometimes like as having like a funnel action, right? And that we're trying to lead them towards specific steps. Now, if those specific steps are not clear, what happens is that your funnel starts to leak and people fall out because they just don't know what to do next. And we are kind of an impatient society now. We expect things to go really quick and we expect them to be easy. So if you are finding that a lot of people are going to your website, but they're not taking any action, there's something to examine there. Think about like, have I made this path easy for them? Like, have I made it super clear that, okay, here's the first step that happens when you work with me? And what does that step look like? Is there a nice big fancy shiny button that they click and they go to and then it leads them through the process of signing up? Or do they kind of have to hunt around and find that little hyperlink that's only underlined, right? So we need clear call to actions on websites. Same thing goes for email marketing. Very clear call to actions. One of the best tips that I can give you about clear email marketing is making sure that your call to action is in 2 specific places, 3 preferably. The first place I like that call to action to be is right in the first paragraph, preferably in the first 2 sentences, so that people don't just start skimming the content and miss the fact that they actually have to do something, or that you are inviting them to do something. And then also making sure that that call to action is like highlighted real big in the body of your email with like a header text and like a button or something. And if you want to put it in a third place, put it in the PS. You guys know I love PSs, especially those of you who make it here from the email reminders. I hope you're enjoying the PSs about the national days. I think they're kind of fun. All right. So we need a clear call to action. Let's take one more example of this because we've kind of talked about websites and email marketing. Let's talk about social media marketing, right? So if you are using social media to make a call to action, to make a sale, some type of an offer post, and you're hoping to make a conversion, then you need to make that conversion easy for people. Now, there's all kinds of social media tips that I could get into about this, but I do not want to derail. Let just suffice to say, if you're looking for social media tips, get thee over to the Social Media Savvy Studio course. If you have not enrolled, we would welcome you in there. We will talk about all the different ways to, have conversion, sales, call to actions, all that stuff inside of that group. But suffice to say, your social media copy needs to be clear. It needs to speak to their desires. It needs to lead them on a path that is really easy to find. So they need to know how to message you. They need to know where they need to go for your website and all of that kind of stuff. Yes, Amy, we definitely need to refine this for the new era. We do, because people move so quickly nowadays, right? So it's really important to consider the pace that people move. And also, I should say, side note, this doesn't mean that you need to go into hustle mode. Like, you get to choose how you're going to run your business and what type of marketing you want to use. You don't necessarily have to use social media if that's not your happy place, right? I was just sitting down with a one-on-one client yesterday, and we were talking about all the different areas of marketing that she was going to hit for this new offer that she is bringing out this summer, and it sounds super cool. My lights just flashed. Hopefully everything's okay. So we were talking about all of the different areas of marketing that she could hit, all these different strategies and tactics, and only one of them was social media, and we had 7. So just want to say that. Yes, thank you, Michelle. You do not need to hustle. You do not need to hustle. There are so many different areas that we can market ourselves, but all of these points that I'm going through today will tie in to every area of marketing. So have your clear call to action, light that path for the people so that they know what to do. Number 4, Michelle, this one comes from you. Be aware of industry specific terms. Okay, so what the heck does this mean? So we had a conversation in Speakeasy, the Speakeasy Cooperative. If we have any voice teachers here who are looking for an amazing community where you can up-level your business skills and learn to run a business that you truly love, put Speakeasy below and I will reach out and talk to you. But industry specific terms, things like, okay, you go over to somebody's website and let's say that they're a voice teacher and they're like, I'm a CCM teacher. That might mean something to some voice teachers, but to the regular person who's seeking out voice lessons, CCM means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. So when we are writing our copy, we need to use terms that are clear to our audience. So if your entire website, sorry, I'm uncomfortable and adjust myself here. If your entire website is full of all of these industry specific terms that your audience member would not understand, you need to reframe it, right? You know, this is a grind my gears topic for me. Yes, yeah, because while the industry specific terms may make you look fancy in the eyes of other music professionals, you're kind of losing your audience. And your audience, well, unless you're actually working for music professionals, and even then they might not know the industry terms. So we need to use language that speaks to what other people want to learn. So for instance, let's use an example, another voice example, because it's top of mind for me today. So you could talk about solving their problems and saying, I can help you balance out your registers so that when you sing through the passaggio, you can do so with ease. Did you like my little voice teacher speak there? You could say that, but that's not going to speak to the person who doesn't understand those terms. The way that we would describe that to them would be a totally different thing. To say something like, when you are singing, do you find that your voice catches and you feel that like awkward, like little hurdle when you're trying to get over from your low voice to your high voice, right? So it's in terms that are very specific to what they understand. And yes, in the future, you can totally figure out, language. You can totally teach them about the fancy language if you want. But when you are first starting to develop your copy and to consider, like, what does my marketing look like? It's time to think about words that speak to the audience. All right, so those are our 4 tips today. I don't know. I hope it's not freezing up here. If anybody else could let me know if it's freezing up, we might be having, I don't know, we're going to have some storms today. So let's do a rapid recap here and get through all of the points. So you have put together a website, you're listed in online directories, you are doing the social media posts, but you are not seeing the traction that you need or not seeing the conversions that you want. People are going to your site and they're bouncing. Here are 4 things that you need to consider for communicating your offers clearly to people so that they will take action and work with you. So, what are those clear marketings? First, we need to understand the full value of your offers. And if you have not sat down and done the deep dive work in understanding what is the transformation that I provide, how does my service or product make somebody's life easier or better, then it's time to sit down and consider that. That's item number 1. Item number 2, you need to speak to your client's needs and desires. And if you don't understand those, then it's time to do some marketing research to consider, like, who is your ideal client? Like, what do they want? Why would they seek out voice lessons? Not just because they want to sing, or piano lessons, not just because they want to play. What is it that drives them to do that? So we need to understand that, and we need to be able to speak to those desires. Number 3, we want to have a clear call to action in all areas of marketing, whether it's email, social media, flyers that you post in the Dairy Queen, which I used to do a long time ago, or if you're talking about your website copy. We need to light the path and make it very easy for people to work with us. If this is resonating with you, let me know. All right, number 4. We need to be aware of industry-specific terms and be cautious when using them. Maybe there is a place on your website that you can put all those fancy terms in, but just know that if somebody doesn't understand those fancy terms, then they are not going to understand how you can help them best. So there we go. Those are our 4 tips today. I would love to know what your takeaways are from today's broadcast. So which one of those 4 items are you going to focus in on and start honing your skills and honing your language so that your marketing can become clearer and people can truly understand the value of your offers? Let me know below. I'd love to be able to have a conversation with you on this. Thank you so much for being here with me today. If you do want to get a hold of the show notes, you can put the word offers below, and the Savvy Sarah bot will reach out to you and send you a little blurb about the show notes today. She's also going to send you a blog post where you can learn more about clear communications in your studio. And heads up, we got something really cool happening next week. I'm bringing in a guest, and this is someone who we had to work pretty hard to get her up on the schedule because she's a busy lady. Her name is Laura Reich, and she is the Pinterest queen. She is the creator of Pintastic Rockstars, and she is my go-to person when I have a Pinterest question. So you may have thought that Pinterest was something that you just used to like make fancy boards to like pin ideas about what you do in your studio, or what, like the games that you want to run, or these events that you're researching, or maybe you just use it for cooking and all that kind of stuff. But Laura is going to teach us 3 specific ways that you can use Pinterest to grow your music studio. It's so cool. Like, I think it's going to be amazing. I cannot wait to share this information with you. So if you drop in offers below, the Savvy Sarah bot will send you information about that event. It's going to be really, really good. And I can't wait to share her magic with you because she's one of my favorite human beings. And I just think she's so much fun. All right. Thank you so much for being with me here today. I see we've got some takeaways like making their life easier and better, booking info high up on your page. Yeah, making those calls to action really clear. I've got work on the first 3 for next fall. All good ideas. Awesome, Sally. I'm so glad to hear that. Thank you so much for being here today. If you enjoyed today's broadcast, you can show me a little love by clicking the heart button and clicking that little thumbs up button. And you can make sure to turn on notifications here. There is a little bell. I believe it's over on this side for you. I might be pointing in the wrong direction, but we'll find out. There is a little bell where you can get notifications every time I go live. And if you haven't followed the Savvy Music Studio page, go ahead and do that. That way you can get notifications when good stuff comes up. So thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you all. If you have any teacher friends who could benefit from this advice, please, I invite you to let them know about this because we do this every single week and it's always super fun. So we will be back here next week for the awesome Pinterest conversation. And in the meantime, stay savvy and stay you, because you are an amazing teacher and there is no one in the world quite like you. And I think that you are pretty dang awesome. So thank you for being here, and we will see you all next week.